Okay, it's like 2 a.m. I technically have to be up in a few hours for work, so it's kind of messed up. But I can't sleep. I've been having a hard time lately, sleeping in general for one reason or another. And here's my question to you guys. It's interesting on apparently what a simple title can change your views. I have like a few more views than my normal videos just because I was talking about the Mandela effect, I think it was, in my last video. Um, and it's probably nothing that anyone was really expecting to those who watched it just because I'm a no name person. I'm doing this for my own personal use, and it's not formatted or anything like that, so I kind of just made it on the fly, and I added a few tidbits of what was going on in life, if I remember. But here's my question for you, to anyone who stumbles upon this, since there's a chance that people apparently will come to find out. Um, so I know I'm really emotional lately, as anyone who watches my videos in, I guess you could say, chronological order knows that I've been going through a very hard time since I started uploading a little bit more actively, so to speak. And, Raina, my ex, she moved out roughly, I think, 2 weeks ago now. It's been very hard, just like it would be with any breakup, whether it's good or bad. It's just hard when you ultimately, that person leaves your life. And so I have one, if not maybe two coworkers that actually have a thing for me. I'm not 100% sure with either of them. And I'm really fucking tired. I'm emotionally confused right now. I'll admit to that because, I'm grieving, I'm emotionally healing and whatnot from everything that happened with Raina. Um, I'm stressed because I don't know if she's going to help pay her half of rent since her name is on the lease. And a handful of people have kind of just said, screw her, just, make sure you can pay the rent on your own. And the problem is that I don't know until the end of the month if not till next month, if I'll actually be able to make enough hours consistently and what my paychecks will be at the end of that and whatnot. Since I technically just started this job and my hours have changed rapidly throughout the entire month that I've been working there at UDF. Went from working 2 days to 3 days to 5 days and a double, or actually 6 days by the end of it. And like this week, the schedule says I have 39.5 hours. So I'm technically supposed to be part time, yet that's, I think, just about full time hours. Could be wrong. Not going to complain, obviously, that, I need the money. Um, but yeah, so here's the thing. And again, on the chance that I know that YouTube and the internet is so vastly big and that no one who I know personally is going to watch my videos anyways, I kind of don't care how much name dropping I do, along with the fact I am really fucking tired, as you can tell. So, um, just having a hard time going to sleep. But anyway, so I have a coworker named Kyla. She doesn't find herself attractive. I have no idea why, because I really don't, because she is so gorgeous. She is completely beautiful. And I like her. I've seen her at the shop a few times, and today was the first day that we really worked together. As funny as that is, and we hung out one time. Wasn't really much of a hangout. I was like, hey, can you help me cook? Like, for real, I'm learning how to cook now, and I'm having people help me, whether it's her or my brother and sister-in-law, John and Marissa. Which I know that you guys aren't married or whatever, but as far as I'm concerned, you guys have like wanted to be together since high school. You guys dated in high school, you spent time apart, and you're back together, you're living together. Y'all, until otherwise, that's just what I'm calling you. Sorry, Marissa, but yeah. Though I don't know how much of a complaint you're really going to have to that. But anyways, so I've been trying to have people help teach me how to cook, and once I learn something, depending on what it is, I can kind of have it down. So I now know how to cook fish, which is yay me. I like fish, and it's very good for you. I know how to cook beef and scrambled eggs. I mean, I've known scrambled eggs easy. You crack it and then just let it do its thing. So, but yeah. But anyway, so Kyla, she came over. We hung out. She helped me cook, and then she stayed the night. Now, granted, in today's day and age, if two adults sleep together, if I do quotes because it's whatever, if they stay the night at another person's house, a lot of people automatically think sex, but we didn't have sex whatsoever. Um, and she got up super early and went to work, and just came back, got her stuff, and hung out at work. It's normal stuff. And me and her, as far as I am aware, have both concerned that we want to be friends. We find the other person, we find each other attractive, and we want to try to, get to know each other better, and see where it goes from there. So, like I was saying, it's very difficult because I like her, I really do. I want to see if it can go further. She's very attractive. She has a great personality, in my opinion. She's very caring. She's sweet. We're both kind of nerds and whatnot. I mean, a lot of people nowadays watch anime, so I don't know how much that really counts as being a nerd, unless you watch like anime that's not popularly known and at Hot Topic and everything that everyone watches. Like everyone watches Dragon Ball Z, everyone watches Naruto, everyone watches certain things, even though I've yet to watch most of them, but still. Um, me and her are both actually big Star Wars stars, and so that's actually what got us talking and whatnot when I introduced myself at work. Um, but I've had to work with a coworker named Faith a few times, and today being that I got hit by a car 2 years ago. Um, you ever hear an old person go, "Oh, when it rains, my joints hurt, or I have a hard time getting around, or my bones hurt, or whatever." Well, I got hit by a car. I have a bad knee now, even though I can walk just fine, for the most part. But when it rains, I tend to limp a little bit until ultimately I can just, until further down the day, or, if I've eaten well enough to where I could just have the strength to try and balance myself in my walk. But typically my knee is hurting to the point to where I just have to limp. And my neck and the vertebrae right there in the back of your head, um, at the base of your skull where your spine goes into your neck. It um it it really starts to hurt. It makes me nauseous. It can give me a migraine and everything. So, one way that I deal with it sometimes is just making a shit ton of jokes, being humorous, and just being stupid, and just almost being delirious, to an extent. And, Faith gets a good kick out of it, my coworker Faith. And, she likes me in the sense of being a friend, but then me and her, like I'm a very open person. I'll talk about anything, like literally anything. As long as a person's open to talking about it, I don't care. It's conversation as far as I'm concerned, and it's getting to know a person. Um, but it was dropped a few like sexual comments between me and her. Nothing, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just kind of like said, and then that was it. So, but again, with me being a highly emotional and whatnot, I'm dealing with things. With Raina and dealing with all the stress of trying to make sure I don't lose this place and everything, and taking as much money out of my checks every week to make sure I can pay at minimum my half, and then just go bitch at Raina saying, "Hey, pay your half" and whatnot, and then slowly build up the money to be able to just take over and pay the whole after a few months. So, but it just made me think. I'm like, okay, for one, I thought Faith had a boyfriend, yet we're talking about sex and somewhat dropping hints, and so I'm kind of just like wondering, okay, does she find me attractive too? If someone says that they, like verbally and like not even to street or anything, just like straight up say, I like going down on a person. Um, is that am I too tired right now? Am I just too emotional to actually think straight to realize, okay, that's kind of a hint to where, whether she has a relationship or not, she at least finds me attractive to say something like that. Maybe she's an open person too, and just states stuff, because I know that I'm an open person, and I'll tell people what I like sexually and everything. And to me, it's just a way that someone can get to know me on a different level than just casually and whatnot. Get to know how I think and whatnot, or how I am otherwise, outside of hi, how's it going. Um, which it's very interesting too. I've downloaded OkCupid, God knows how many times, deleted my profile and remade a new one. I don't know how many times, just because I view it as a social network. Yes, I know it's technically a free dating site, but you're not going to date anyone unless you meet them in person. So to me, you can have conversation online, and that's as far as it is. And that's one of the things I say whenever I message someone, just to see if they'll reply. Is it's like, hey, how's it going? It seems like a very, black and white, very innocent, very nonchalant, casual thing. Just like, hey, try and be nice. How's it going? How's your day? Um, and you'd be surprised how many people just don't respond to that. It's like, what the hell? How are you supposed to start a conversation on the internet? I really don't know. If you have any advice for me, in terms of my relationship with my ex and how to handle that, since her name is on the lease and we kind of have to get along to a certain extent because of that until I can fully handle the bills on my own and or take her name off of it. Because my apartment complex is retarded, they want me to like $50 fee, do the complete application process again, background check, give them a whole nother deposit plus whatever rent I'm already paying here just to take her name off the lease. And I'm thinking that's fucking retarded. Y'all are just money hungry. So, that's why I'm practically not wanting to even deal with it. And just, if I can't afford it, just go to her and be like, hey, look, whatever, your name's on the lease, so you're legally tied, so you kind of have obligation. Tell me if your personal opinion is the same, if you think that if someone has a legal tie to something, if they are obligated to take care of that. Let me know if you have any advice with what to do about Kyla, what to do about Faith, what to do about things in general. I'm trying to build myself up here, confidence wise. Being that if you think I'm attractive, cool. If you want, leave a comment and let me know. I guess it's YouTube, doesn't really matter, but I do have low self esteem despite all that stuff and everything. So, but yeah, trying to get myself on my feet and everything, and trying to figure out women in general, which seems to be something that no one can ever do, I guess, and try and just figure out life. So yeah. Just with the fact I also have a few extra minutes, I'll talk a little bit about what's going on with me and Kyla. She also picked me up today at work. She picked me up from my house, just carpooled or whatever, drove me to work, and we worked the same shift. So when we got off, she work, she just dropped me off work or dropped me off at home. And she asked me how my day was, and she's like, it's funny because we work together, and yet I'm still asking you how your day is. And to me, it's kind of understandable because we do want to try and get to know each other and be a little bit more, hopefully down the line if things work out as such. But then she asked me, she's like, so you and Faith are getting along? Were you flirting with her? And then she follows that up with, it. It won't bother me if you were. And I'm thinking, because here's the thing, Kyla is an extremely flirtatious person. And it's something I'm not used to, even though when I'm social, I can be very flirtatious, just naturally. I can, just sit here and, whatever. Even though to me, it's just, I'm being social. I'm just, it's all, a good time and everything like that. It's just, just me talking and everything. So, and again, the fact that, as far as my understanding is, Kyla, as well as myself, want to try and see if it can be more than just friends. And so I'm thinking, okay, do I answer that? Oh, was I flirting with her? I was straight up honest. I was like, I'm in a lot of pain right now. The rain, it really takes it out of me. I used to love rainy days, and now it's kind of a drag because, again, it messes with my neck and it messes with my knee. Until I can get that fixed, which I do go to the chiropractor as often as I can. Minute left. So, yeah, and so, I told him, like, well, I was just, joking around. I've been told I can be flirtatious when I'm social, but it's not intended as such. When I am interested in someone, when I want to be with someone, even if it's as a friend, if it's, if I'm trying to be more than that down the line, I try and be committed and loyal to that fact. It's what I told her. And, it's just, tell me if you think that was a good response. even though that was the complete honest and truth and whatnot. So with 15 seconds to go, I don't really want this to be a multi-parter, so I'm going to just end it here. And I might make a second video, but we'll see.